I don't like to be that guy, but it don't back me in the corner.
Yeah, I know. And last year, they had to put a fire out. You know,
Start our
one of our
video.
piles
Come
out.
on.
We charged them $600. We had to pay that.
Okay, we're good.
All right, I'm calling the meeting to order, 6 o'clock. Let's have, we all know who we are. Let's have you introduce yourself again.
I am Luis Campos.
Okay, and are you here in listen only mode or do you have something to discuss today?
I'm listening.
Okay.
You can always ask for my opinion, though.
Okay. All right, do we have anybody online?
Not currently, no.
Okay. All right, so since we are missing 2 of our board members, let's go ahead and mark them. Oh, do we have them showing up? Okay, George, I know won't
Looks
be
like-
here.
Yeah,
so
it
let's
looks
make
like
sure-
Norma's here.
Okay. Give it a few seconds to see if she comes in. All right, let's count Norma in.
You have mask.
I don't.
And do we have, did everybody look over your agenda? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to add something to the agenda if I
Okay.
could. I would like to add a discussion about winter operation hours.
Okay,
A new business. I need to add a new business, SBAO consultant.
okay.
Really?
David just,
Operation hours and SDA.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. All right, does anybody want to make a motion to approve the agenda? Does anybody have any other business you want to discuss today or attempt to discuss right off the bat?
Yeah, the BCD, or not BCD. Those people that are paying for the sports.
That's BCDA. That would
Okay.
go under the youth sports update.
Okay, cool.
We have a motion.
I have a motion to approve the minutes.
The
The
agenda,
The
agenda.
agenda, sorry.
minutes, Shelby.
Did anybody have any questions or additions or corrections on the minutes?
There's, in where it's halfway down, there's, should be mortgage, it's mirage
On,
on minutes. It's down by is where
uh,
Shelley Piercy presented the July 2021 financial report. First annual
Mored.
mortgage.
Anything else, you guys? We have a motion?
I move that we accept these minutes as presented.
A second.
As presented or with the correction?
Oh, with the correction.
I'll second.
Oh, there it is. See, I looked over that thing, I don't know how many times.
The vote on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That's all right. Financial statements.
Okay, first up is the treasury report. Rec center operations were at 117,954.31. Operations for the park, 34,970.99. The LGIP for the park general fund, 1,089,815.22. Operations LGIP for the rec center, 627,991.26, and our debt service is at 166,177.99. Let's see. In December, we will have a Bank of Eastern Oregon loan payment that will be coming out in the amount of 120,860.37. We will also have a GO bond debt payment for $269,068.75. On our boat dock loan, we are still waiting on a mortgage that is due, an annual mortgage of $1,200. We have $858.53 that we've collected so far for October that will go towards our payment. So we'll actually have the full payment made even without that annual mortgage that's still due.
So was this correct then? The annual mortgage, yeah?
The word,
Mhm.
honestly, I've got to look it up,
Okay.
but it is more, the word is supposed to be mortgage.
Okay,
So the next 3 pages are the amortization schedules for the GO bond, the boat dock loan, and the Bank of EO loan. I've highlighted the payments
Mhm.
that will be our next ones. Are there any questions on any of that?
When we took in our, I know you'll go over it probably later, but when we took in that money that was the reimbursement from the school district, does
Yes.
that go into our park or does that go into the rec center?
That went to the rec center.
Okay, is that why we have so much money in the rec
Yes.
center? Okay,
Yep.
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and the only reason I haven't transferred it over to the LGIP is because we're
Right.
paying out so much in payroll that we'd have to transfer it right back.
Right.
So
Okay. And our debt service again is the,
that's for the GO bond. The debt service is the separate amount that we set aside for the GO bond. We will have the yearly taxes that will come in November before we make that next payment.
thank you. And our,
Which one?
it's the small one in December, not the big one. Okay,
Yeah, small ones in December, big ones in July or June.
okay.
Okay, so next up I don't think you have a question.
No, I'm looking at you because I want to see what
Oh.
you're pointing at.
Statement of revenues and expenditures for the park. First column is September, second column is through September of this year, so July through September of this year. Third column is September of last year. Fourth column is July through September of last year.
Do we have enough in our, sorry, do we have enough in our general park fund to make payroll? Or are we gonna have to move money for that?
We should
Like, are
be,
we okay?
yeah, no, we should be okay. Our payroll's way down because we don't have very many people right now.
Okay.
So, total revenue so far for this year for the park is 287,349.50. Total expenditures for the year is 197,240.84, which gives us a net revenue of $90,108.66 so far this year. Are there any questions on that one?
Sorry, I'm freaking you out because I'm looking.
No,
at-
it's okay. It's easier for me to point for
I know,
myself.
that's why, and I'm like, okay.
Let me just make it so it's a presentation, so I point it up on the board for you guys. There's no questions on that. The next one is the balance sheet. Accounts receivable for the park, that is all, it's the tribal money that is owed, as well as the boat dock loan.
What is?
The accounts receivable,
Gotcha.
so it's the boat dock loan, and then we still have money from the tribe that's due for September's maintenance. And then the accounts payable, if you go to the page behind the balance sheet, there is an accounts payable, what we have due. These are bills that came in after I had run, or they came in after I cut checks last week. So before our meeting, so that's what we have due. I will be cutting checks for these this week.
Remind me again, the accumulated depreciation.
So the accumulated depreciation is the amount that we write off on all of our equipment and everything each year, and it compiles over the years.
Okay,
So that's what
so
that
he
is.
just changes it every year depending on
Mhm.
what the depreciation is
Yep.
for those. Okay.
There's no questions on those. The next up would be the budget to actual for the park for this year. Year-to-date resources is $313,287.80. Year-to-date requirements, $211,062.84. So we have $102,224.96 more in resources than what we have spent. Are there any questions on that one?
We're already over on our budget or advertising apparently, right?
Yep, that was good, Sam.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's 2,000 a month, a little over 2,000.
No, the good Sam is it was the
That
one
one
that,
from last month that I had a question on.
Yep.
Okay.
the $8,000 one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a once a year fee that we pay.
Okay. Because on here you have advertising.
There's different categories of advertising. The main one, the 8,000, that we always put Good Sam there. And then we have newspaper ads, that's normally the North Monroe Times. And then any other advertising, we have there's an ad that goes in or out on the highway, the
Mhm.
signs that have point that have us on it, we have to pay advertising fees for that.
Okay.
What was the staff training?
The staff training, that was the SDAO conference.
Yeah.
In, oh, sorry, no, and I moved on without you. I'll wait.
So if there's no other questions, the next report up is the bank account activity for the park.
In FinTech, is that our processing?
Credit card processing fees. Yep, that's our credit card processor. So total deposits for the park was 63,882.18. Total disbursements out was 55,863.27.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I have not looked at all of it.
Signs did we get? High performance signs. What did we get?
There was that
Oh.
sign, that new sign at the entrance.
Park hours.
Oh, nice.
Next up is the cash report stats for the campground. So in September, we brought in $38,129 in cash. We had stays of 1,935. Out of that, 1,786 were regular, 130 was overflow, and 19 was tents.
Holy smokes.
Yes.
Okey dokey. That was a good month.
So any questions on the park stuff before we move on to the pool? Okay, so first up is the statement of revenues and expenditures for the pool. Again, first column is September, second column is July through September this year. Third column is September last year, fourth column is July through September last year. So far this year, total revenue is 177,126.46. Total expenditures is $260,690.37, which gives us a net loss of $83,563.91.
That COVID money skewed last year.
It did.
I'm sure we've had.
I know.
There's no questions on that. Next up is the balance sheet for the pool. The accounts receivable, the 30,739 is we billed Boardman Foods, Finley Buttes, and Tillamook for their yearly sponsorships. So the third page, so page 23 has the accounts receivable due for the pool that has been billed for. So you guys can see those.
Hey, real quick, Shelby,
Yes,
program expenses back on the revenues and expenditures thing.
yes.
So is that for like, did we run the summer programs under that? What is that? The 33?
So program expenses is generally going to be, I think, let me see. Before I answer that, let me
It
make
have
sure
to be
that there
summer
isn't.
rec if it's 33,000.
Yeah,
right?
so it's got summer rec, it's got Fantastic Kids, Teen Summer, any of the little kids recreation programs that they've done up at the rec center,
Okay.
it all goes
Are we
under.
running all of summer rec under the rec center side of things? We are. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess to keep that in mind, because we used to run it under the park. And that was a $30,000 to $40,000 expense that we ran on
40,
the parks.
about 40 on average.
Yeah, that we ran on the park side,
Right.
which is, we were paying for anyway.
Mhm.
So try not to be too hard on the rec center because at least 30 or 40,000 of that is from
Yeah,
stuff
and
we would have paid on this side.
We originally budgeted 50,000
Yeah,
for it for this year.
Yeah.
So until we had that
Well,
huge expansion.
Plus
Right.
costs, as everything else has gone up, so.
it just makes it,
It
it
makes it
makes
look,
the 80,000 look bad when really,
right.
30, well,
33 of it's-
easily 40, because
Yeah.
that doesn't even include the wages, and the wages
No.
are in the other section of it,
Correct.
yeah, so.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're okay. So balance sheet, accounts receivable, it shows we have 30,739, and then accounts payable, 1,168.45. On page 23, there's a breakdown of the accounts receivable that we billed for, and page 20. Oh, got mixed up. Page 25 is the payables that we have that are outstanding. Now, those are bills that came in after I had cut checks last week, but before they weren't paid before we cut the reports.
What's the Helix community?
That is lifeguarding training that we billed for, but they have never paid for, and Tessa was supposed to be checking on that.
Which one's that?
Helix, they still haven't paid.
Really?
Yeah, July.
Morrow County Health District? What is that for?
So they have been paying for youth memberships for certain kids.
Oh.
And this is one that they had called about to pay for, but the kids have never come in. So they said, we'll just keep it
Oh.
kind of on your books and we'll pay for it whenever they come in. So
That's
it's just
what-
been kind of
yeah.
sitting there.
Okay.
Oh, they actually did do that.
Health system?
Yeah, they had 10, 15 kids that they paid for this last summer
Wow.
for memberships.
Huh.
It was only for the summer,
Yeah.
but some of them that didn't come in, they've agreed to hold it over and pay for them later.
Wow.
So. yeah. So page 24, this is our recreation center sponsorships that we have left and what we billed for. I have sent all of the bills out for these three for this year. Tillamook's check came in yesterday, so they have paid for this year. They only have 2 years left on their sponsorship, so 22 and 23. Finley Buttes, once they pay, they are done. Boardman Foods has just next year after they pay for this year's.
What did we? How long of a time did we give Tillamook? Did we give them lifetime or 20 years?
I think it's life.
Is it life?
Yeah. I think all the ones that did the rooms were given that. I think that's what Mike had did. What's that, perpetuity?
I don't know that Boardman Foods was life. I think that one was for a set time.
I don't know
I was
specifically.
thinking the gym might have been because, or at least 20 years on that, because it was, they're putting in the,
140.
Do you have this
Yeah.
documented somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I just couldn't remember since our money's running out.
Can we go back to page
2023.
21 for the youth basketball fees?
Yes. So that was, looking at the liabilities. So
Yes, liabilities.
that was money that was taken from Irrigan parents before it was shut off so that we weren't taking payments online through the online system. Yeah, there was 4 parents that paid before we were able to shut it off, so that they weren't able to pay online,
Okay.
so that we weren't getting sucked into having money coming in and then having to pay it out.
Okay.
So that is the 174.61 is money that is owed
Owed
to the basketball. Yep.
or to the parents, actually, right? Oh, no, because they're arrogant.
Because they're Irrigan
Okay.
kids. Yep.
Okay. No,
Okay, so we are back on page 26. With the budget to actual. Total resources for this year, 326,256.67. Total requirements, 283,724.78, which gives us a difference of 432,531.89. Are there any questions on that one?
And the telephone internet, we did go through a different. Okay,
Yeah, we are through. It's inland, but it's also, it's Windway for the internet and then Jive for our phones.
So when we advertise on that one page that we were talking about, the Good Sam,
Mhm.
does it include the pool too? Or no?
No,
just
it is
the
only the
campground?
campground.
Okay,
Didn't we say rec center available?
It's set,
The one ad?
I think it says something about that we have the rec center, but beyond that, it doesn't mention anything.
It's for campgrounds anyway.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
If the rec center was right here, it would do.
It'd be, yeah.
yeah, because I know I did go look at it and I couldn't find us underwater sports, so I was wondering what exactly, if we're just paying for that one page, because I didn't find us under family events either, or family stuff. We were just under that one,
Under camping.
yeah, or if we searched it, it just was not. I mean, it popped, Umatilla popped up for water sports or whatever, but we didn't pop up for water sports or family adventure or something like that. That was on the page.
Yeah, it's however they do it for the different wording.
Yeah,
There's no more questions on that. The next one up is the bank account activity for the pool. Total deposits, 86,162.97. Total disbursements, 82,931.96. There's no question on that. The next two pages are the scans. For this first page is for this year, second page is for last year. Average scans for September was 83 people per day. And so far, we're on track for October of 80 people a day.
Horrible,
I'm like, that's nice.
horrible.
Okay, I just don't know the numbers yet. I guess we can only really compare it to 2019, not 2020.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
2020.
yeah, last year doesn't count at all.
Yeah. That year wasn't even here. basically.
What's the numbers we're shooting for?
For
Per
me,
What's the
day.
number we're shooting for per day? I mean, average.
well, I was always shooting for more than what we had in 2019. That's always been my goal. It's always increased that every year.
How
Mhm.
much was that,
Yeah.
your average?
Have to go back and look. I don't remember right now. I mean, we had days, a couple hundred in a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So 80 is
Yeah.
not good then.
And that's not even counting the school groups that we had, 700 in a week.
Mhm.
So just from school groups.
Mhm.
It's been different since.
Yeah.
Nothing's gone back normal.
Let's
Right.
see, 2019. You're not too bad off. I mean, anywhere from 88 up to 147 average a day in
Well,
2019.
if you look at the track
September.
record, when school starts back up, and it's really usually, it's slower than it ever has been right now, but it's usually slow until New Year's, after New Year's, when everybody
Comes back.
decides that they better get their act together again.
Yeah,
Again.
resolution.
Yeah,
Does anybody have any comments on the financials, or I'd take a motion to accept them if anybody wanted to do that?
Make a motion to accept the financial report.
I'll second it.
Alrighty. Oh,
We need to
there's a
vote.
vote, sorry, all in favor. John's like, all opposed. Alrighty, old business, district policy update, table for winter project, can we skip over that? Or we, winter yet?
No,
Irrigation GPS update, table as a winter project, youth sports update, Scott Green.
Oh,
You were on for that one.
okay. set up here.
Oh,
So we, we're learning a lot. Tessa's learning a lot more than I am right now, I'll tell you that, but she's really dove into it. We do have the software program that's going, which it was a great choice to do this, I think. I think you were at that meeting, Norma, too, so we'll be able to help out the organizations a little bit, give them information where they can look, you know, to keep themselves straight about practice times or what fields available, things like that. So I think that's come along good. We did talk at the last meeting about what's kind of expected, so from organizations for what kind of information we need to and what we're able to do. There's certain things, I mean, we're not gonna take on the teams or the coaches, but we're gonna be able to, based on their needs, figure out what type of practice schedule they need based on that time of season, what sports are going on during that time of season. So we're working on it. I know that Tessa has been doing a practice sign up with Shelby in basketball, right?
Practice sign up.
Well, doing sign up.
Taking registration?
Yeah, thank you, sorry. Registrations at Shelby, using her as a guinea pig to go through this process while she's learning the software. And so she's really getting, God,
Yeah,
I know.
she's really getting
Like her
the
bag.
hang of that, which is good to know. We are gonna send out a letter to all the organizations, kind of explaining the process, what information we need from each one of those organizations to make this complete. Work out any bugs, and there will be bugs, we know this, but, and then there's gonna be another meeting, I don't remember the date, I think it's set up, saw an email, but I can't remember right now, but there's another meeting coming up.
Oh, I didn't see it either.
I don't think, maybe
They
they didn't
probably
pick a
didn't set
date
it.
yet, but they're planning another meeting that we're gonna get together on. And then, hopefully we can get that letter out before that meeting, so there'll be answers at this next meeting. So it's coming along.
How long do you think realistically until you think you might have a operating system up and going?
We think that we can be ready to go for the next season sport, which would be the spring season.
Okay,
Okay, since things are already starting now,
for basketball, yeah.
we need
Yeah,
to
it's getting
focus
parents
close in the
ready.
beginning there.
yeah, because we do have to sign in and create an account. So I think once we log into that first account, I mean, we could just
Yeah.
go in there and register our kids. And it was pretty easy. It wasn't that bad. I just did the kids the other day because I saw your thing and I was like,
Your
oh,
kids are in there twice. That's the only thing I found that's
Oh.
a big downfall. It does not block you from registering kids twice.
oh, because I put Xander's birthday incorrectly. I put the wrong
Mhm.
year. So I deleted it on my end
Yeah.
and I put him in with the correct year. Yeah. So.
It's going to be, I mean, once we have this set up, the work isn't done. We're gonna have to be looking at it all the time
Mhm.
and correcting any issues and catching things. It's just one of those things where the job's not gonna be done. It's
Is
just-
that her doing that as a coach or is that her doing that as a parent?
She was doing
As
that
a
as a parent.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So the parent will be
Yeah.
able to log in then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty easy. I did
Cool.
that. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
not hard process. at
Yeah,
all.
so we
Good.
have to create an account, get an email.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can
So
sign
are
up
we-
online.
Are we as the district, are we now posting where people can get information? Because
I
remember that
don't
was
think
part of
we are
John's
yet.
Well,
original request.
I think that's gonna run in both ways. We are gonna do that. We believe that the organizations should still market their own information they need out there, but yes, we'll be sending that out. You know, just where to sign up, how to sign up, all that information will go out to the public.
On our website, I take it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because with
Yes.
like this basketball, I only saw it on the basketball page, so, because she shared it and I was like, oh, okay, and then it has a sign up button. And it takes you to the Boardman Park and Rec pool.
Okay.
And we sent home flyers too to the school. But other than that, I mean, there's nowhere else to really put it.
Yeah.
People don't know where to go.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, it's just gonna be a change of culture within the town of like, this is where we go to sign up these things. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a good year or two for them to be like, this is just where you go for information. You go to the
Yeah.
rec center for information. Eventually,
Right.
that'll be.
The hub.
And
yeah,
then,
It'll catch on eventually.
yeah, and the BCDA did request for it to be also in Spanish.
Right.
Yes,
So, yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Definitely.
But, so there is a thing with that. There's no way to do the online program in Spanish.
So
So
why
that is
not?
gonna be,
Talking about for rec pro.
no, team sideline.
Oh, for sideline?
Mhm.
I thought, okay, I didn't get that answer. I thought she was looking at just so you got that.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no way to do that.
Well,
Well, you could always just post on there that if they need assistance, they can
right.
ask for it.
So,
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
can
and
help, we can help people
Yeah.
out too, if they come to the rec center.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've been sending there because I had 3 parents, but I was like, I can't be running everybody through this, like
Right.
my soccer parents, so. I'm just like, just go sign up at the rec center, just go
Yeah.
sign up over there because, and hopefully they have something in Spanish that they can fill out, or somebody can run them through there, because I'm just having that issue. Because we did sign up, but
It's
I
always an
just thought everything
issue.
was
and it's-
English, so.
Yes, it's going to be. And, you know, it's not just Tessa or myself learning this. I mean, mainly Tessa's gonna be doing this, right? But we're gonna have to involve our front desk staff to a degree. They're gonna have to know some of this because there'll be people coming in and asking that question. You know, they'll be able to help with these problems too, especially, you know, for folks who only can have it in Spanish. That's how it's gonna work. It's not just as simple as one person doing this. It's a team effort to have this happen, especially if we want to do it the right way. Which brings me, you know, we're doing this for free. So I believe that every organization that's involved with this should put us as a sponsor onto their
So
information they sent out. We need something in return from this.
that's the question I had. So after our meeting, when Tessa said that we're doing this for free, I know that people from the port were there and they said, we're giving the rec center a lot of money for what you guys are doing at the rec center.
I can honestly tell
So-
you, the last check we got from the port was, or from, it's actually comes from BCDA, it doesn't come from the port. It was $100,000, but what it's for year 2018 and year 2019, and we got it in like January of last year.
Yeah, other than memberships.
But
That's
the only money the port gives is their membership fees for their, but
Yeah,
the other portion comes from BCDA. And I even found the minutes that state that's actually supposed to help pay for Scott's wages.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to pay for anything else.
no,
Okay. Yeah, because, and that was the question I wanted to ask, like how, I mean, you're getting paid to do it, right? Because you're not doing it for free.
No,
no, we're
Yeah.
not
No,
getting
it's
paid.
costing the
no,
district
we're not.
money.
I mean, it's costing us money.
Yes.
We're not getting paid anything outside of that. $50,000 is to help pay Scott's wages that they give us.
Yeah.
But
And
we don't
that's-
get anything else from them for that.
Yeah,
I had a hard time biting my tongue while I was there because I wasn't there as a park employee. I
Right,
was there as
right.
basketball when they said that. So,
Yeah, that's not true.
so
okay.
And memberships are simply memberships.
yeah, they're
They
simple
don't go
memberships. That's
towards-
all
There's
it
already
is. It's-
services rendered
do
for
not
that.
go
So
for-
So then
Yeah.
she thinks that they're paying the Parks and Rec already $50,000, so it should be included with
Yeah,
Parks and
but
Rec
the-
stuff like this.
Yeah, no, the agreement was, it was $50,000 a year to go towards Scott's wages. And like I said, the last check we got was January of 2020. And it was for 2018 and 2019's years for his wages. It
Yeah.
was, we haven't gotten anything from them since for that.
Have you asked why?
I'm told I'm not supposed to bill. I'm supposed to just accept it as a gift. That's what I've been told.
Right, because it's
So-
allocated.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't open it up for people just to say, I want money.
Right, yeah. So they just are supposed to give
They-
it to us when they
Yeah,
feel
they
like it.
decide, yeah.
And
That
they
was made
haven't
very
felt
clear
like
to
it
us.
then?
I don't go to their meetings, so I'm not
Yeah.
privy to any of that.
Who are we talking about now?
BCDA.
When is your meeting?
they're just,
They're on a Thursday.
what,
That's all I
it's the
remember.
second Thursday of the month, but that's
that
not
what
their board
advertised?
meetings.
That's just an update meeting, right?
Yeah, that's just there's like 15 on the committee. I'll put it as a committee, but then they have their board and they have a different meeting.
So back onto this, you're saying that you would like each club to, or each organization to, just in part of their flyer that they hand out, that there's advertisement for the rec center.
Sponsored
Yeah,
by
I do. I think
Boardman
we
or-
are, we're organizing this for everyone and eventually it'll be a lot easier for everyone, including parents, to be able to know what's going on and easy access. I think we should at least be acknowledged on a flyer. I think we should, I'm gonna say it, I believe whenever the park is being used, I think we should be acknowledged too, because it costs the district money, we're contributing, and I think
Mhm.
that marketing is important for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's really hard for an organization just to put that there, and then also that piece of like, come see the rec center for any questions or something like that. I mean, I think that if we think about the other piece, right, of like, this is where you're gonna find the hub of our youth information, like something, maybe even from the rec side, if we think about what do you want to have on there, and that's just, this is what has to go on your flyer that goes out to. If we make it that simple,
Yeah.
it makes it easy for them to go, oh, okay, thanks. I'm sure, because you guys, it sounds like you're gonna have another meeting, right, with the youth,
Yeah,
could be something discussed there to like, go, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, don't hesitate to throw that out there when you're in
Yeah.
this meeting.
I
Yeah.
won't, I will.
But I mean, coming up with a solution of like, this is what we need to have on the flyer, or maybe even having that example for them. There it is, boom, done, and then they don't
Or
have to
we'd
think about it.
appreciate to have this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of like trying to force it.
Anyway, just summarize. We are planning to hit the ground running when the spring sports start up, so.
So
Okay.
we do send parents over, they can translate everything, and is there a paper registration we can fill out?
Not at this time,
Not yet, okay.
but still, that's the reason we won't be, there's a lot of reasons why we're not gonna be ready until spring. I mean, we don't want to start in the middle of the season anyway. I mean, half that's already been figured out by organizations. And we want to make sure that we've tried to cover everything we can think of to look like we're organizing it to make sense.
Mm.
I can tell you from experience, the amount of times you do that, there are going to be hiccups that you don't foresee. We just work through them.
Yeah.
Way to do it.
Are we just moving away, trying to move away from paper copies? And that's okay if we are. I think that whatever we make, we just have to make sure that parents understand this is where we're going. And if they can come in and fill it out, awesome. Like if they can come to the park and here, I'm gonna type through whatever access I can. I think that's a win too. I mean, back in the day, I guess I could talk about when I was a little kid, my parent would still go to the rec center and we'd be filling out the paperwork in the office.
Yeah.
Did Lily try to go to an online?
Mhm. I did like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Well,
Now,
It
probably
was
like 5
through-
4 years ago.
I think it was like
Was
4
there
years ago. It was
still a
through Dick's
paper
Sporting Goods,
form?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is there still a paper form available?
I mean, in the beginning, we'll probably
No,
have to
they
have
didn't
both.
do the paper form. It was all through the online. And it
Mhm.
wasn't bad. And we do have paper forms available for basketball over the rec center right now, but we're really encouraging people to go to the online.
But
Just
did-
because I've taken paper forms and then entered them in, the parents forget and they're like, oh shoot, I gotta do it. And then we're ending up with double. I probably have 10 or 15 kids right now that are double entered in the system that I've gotta go correct.
But the online form is all English, so that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
That's
problem.
where we want to head
And,
to.
and I'll be honest,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go online, you're gonna get some poor people that
Well-
don't have access to that.
And that's what I mean, giving that opportunity to go to the rec center and fill it out, having somebody walk through them. I think that is the next step.
Even our website is gonna be difficult to switch over to a translation. We're gonna have to do a whole separate website that mirrors
Yeah, 'cause,
what we have.
More
do it.
County Schools has that option. You just go over
Yep.
here and click in Spanish and everything is in Spanish.
Yeah, it's
So-
important. It's important, especially with the majority of our families speaking Spanish.
When you
Yeah.
say the website, you're talking about the park's website?
Yeah, our new one, for it to be in Spanish. We're gonna have to do basically a separate mirrored website that has everything that we've got on there. But it's in Spanish.
Yeah,
Get Google Translate. That's basically, I did that today on 80 pages of notes and like.
Oh, yeah.
Translated to Spanish. How well I
So
don't
remember
know.
I was telling you about the Google Translate?
Mhm.
So when I went to do, I just typed in Google Translate, that one doesn't work. You have to go to Google and then on the search bar, you have to put translate English to Spanish. And that will work. That will put it basically exactly how you put it in English. It'll say in Spanish.
Okay.
So, yeah, I never got to do that flyer in Spanish, so.
We're closing registrations anyways.
Yeah,
This week,
yeah.
we're getting too many kids.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's good, right?
Yeah, it's good. It is good. A little scary, but yeah, it's good.
There should be, like you said, that would be kind of neat if they go to the main website and they were able to click on a little thing that says to.
Yeah.
for this
Yeah,
thing.
even,
That'd
I
be
wonder if
much
you can
easier.
look into that for that program. To do a mirrored, and when we go and log in, because when I went to log in, I was like, okay, where, shoot. Well, let's pretend I don't speak English or read and write in English.
Yeah.
You can just put on the top like Espanol
If we did
and
that,
then have a click.
if we did that though, I believe we have to pay for our own domain through them, which is it's an even higher cost.
We'll
Probably will be.
bring that up to,
Yeah, we
BCDA.
can look into it and know, yes, exactly.
yeah, bring that up to BCDA that there might be an extra cost, and that way they can cover that. Because if they want it translated in Spanish or whatever other language, then if that's what they want, then they should be able to cover that cost. That way we're not losing out on any of that.
Anything else, Scott?
No.
Anybody have any questions for Scott? All right, any other old business? Go ahead and move on to our new business, then election of officers.
We need to wait till George is here to do that.
Is he gonna be late?
He's not coming
Is he
tonight.
not- okay, he's not coming.
So Shelby, you read it, because I have it on my phone and I don't get my phone out, but
So
Shelby found
I found a little blurb in the most recent set of policies that we have, which is from 1994.
Are you?
I'm not joking.
I applauded her for finding.
That's pretty good. but-
Yeah.
Found it in my
Holy
office.
cow.
So it says the board shall elect a member to serve as president, vice president, treasurer, and appoint a secretary who need not be a member of the board. These positions are elected every 2 years for a 2-year term, not serving 2 consecutive terms. Elections shall be held in November of every odd number year, and the office holder shall begin to serve his office in January of the following even numbered year. So we did elections last year because we
New
knew Karen was
leaving
leaving. So to get us back on track, we'd have to do elections this year
in November,
in November. So,
it to start in January.
yeah,
Well, let me ask you this one, because I obviously wasn't on the board. Is this a policy that we've upheld with the last board that was here, that we
You know,
changed every
might
2
have.
years?
It's just that we didn't uphold the whole 2-year thing.
yeah.
We let our president continue on,
So why don't we
20
change
years.
that?
but we did vote.
For 20
We
years.
truly did vote, and we did create our election of officers.
Yeah.
We
Right.
just actually kept our same president.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's good she found it. I mean, at least we have something.
Right.
Yeah, there are a few policies, so there is something
So
in
do
place.
we all
of-
have copies of that?
No, but I can make you
Okay.
a copy of like the 14 pages.
Yeah,
It needs to be reworked.
There's very little there.
yeah.
It really needs
So,
to be
because
updated.
we all probably need to go through it and read it, and then,
Well, keep in mind, it still lists Ted as a park manager. And it still has I mean, there's not very much stuff in there.
Oh,
It's
14 pages.
it's very outdated because it
Well,
covers,
isn't that what you guys are going to be covering?
yes,
This winter,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and
So
it'll probably go
okay.
to like,
I think if
50 or
anything, we
60
may just
pages.
refer back to it.
Oh,
but-
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so it'll be all right. They're gonna all update it anyway, and if Ted leaves us anyway, then there's gonna be a lot of things that we update, I'm sure, over the next 4 months, 5 months.
Mhm.
The concern I have with the election of officers is when we do it, as I pointed out before, you could be president, come up for election in May and not win an election. The election of officers should happen when the new
After.
officers come in,
Yeah,
or the re-elected officers. The time frame is just in the middle of a year.
but then the vice president's gonna step into that spot then. If the president doesn't get reelected through the election, then the vice president steps up.
Is that on the bylaws? Do we
No,
have bylaws?
No.
Okay, can we get some
1994.
bylaws?
That's the next thing we're
That's
talking
the
about.
next
Oh,
thing,
there,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so that would all be covered in the bylaws when you guys do those, and you would talk about too is that situation, and then if you're wanting them to continue and how you want to rotate.
It's no different than a resignation. If the president resigns, the vice president steps up.
Right, yeah,
That's the whole
I think
point
that's
of it.
probably pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, if nothing else, we can do the election. I mean, I think we probably should to keep it with that
With what it
odd
says,
number year
Okay.
thing. We'll do that in
November.
November. Yeah,
Yeah,
just to do it. John, do you have anything to say on the board? bylaw
Yeah, I just
policy?
wanted, I mean, it sounds like we're already having this conversation, but I just wanted to, really emphasize that I think this should be a priority that we have, especially since experience is leaving us and experience have left, we need to have something more in place. Like really honestly, like you get a lot of advice from Ted over the 30 years you've been here and having something else, getting concrete just helps us continue moving forward. And so I don't know how we go about this, or if we need to get help from the, SDAO or something like that to help create these bylaws, but we need to have something.
So he has a good point. Does the SDAO have bylaws that are in their
I think so,
guides?
I would have to look up and see if they do. The only thing I found is just kind of a policy. It's not even really a template. It just tells you what should be in your policies, but it doesn't
It's
talk
not
about
like a
bylaws.
template.
Yeah.
It's not like with our other.
It's not like with the
handbook
other
we
one where you can literally go, okay, well, I'm just gonna change a few things here and there and
Right.
adopt it.
did. Right.
It just
And
tells
then I
you,
guess
oh,
that
your
every-
policy needs to say this.
Every
I think
park
they-
organization in Eastern Oregon probably has something that we could borrow as a reference.
The what?
Every park organization in Eastern Oregon probably had something that more current than 1994 that we could use as a starting point,
For bylaws or for policies?
either one.
I was
Both.
thinking you said SDAO had the policies though.
SDAOs
Yeah.
they have, like I said, they have the policy book that states what should be in your policies. It literally talks about, okay, for your accounting policy, you need to have a policy that tells all of these things, but you can't just change a few words and make it,
Gotcha.
we literally have to write them.
Oh, that's.
It's generalized.
Yes,
I
it's
mean,
very generalized.
irrigation, fire departments, police
Gotcha.
information.
Right, it's
So,
all
Yeah.
covered under that. Yeah.
if you reach out to like district, special districts, I don't mean like Hermiston because they run under the city. The Dalles, Hood River, those type of districts, they do have bylaws and policies. They went through this course. Those would be great examples.
I know you're busy, but you have the connections.
you-
Can you reach out to them?
Okay, yes.
I know you're busy.
Email
I'm
us
just
the
saying, like,
bylaw. So you can go
not
through.
like right now, but maybe by,
I didn't bring my phone. I can't do it
Well,
right now.
I know he reached out to somebody at the Dalles, but.
Yes,
they
and they're
didn't
going through a brand new policy
Yeah.
change, so, but I know the guy in Hood River or in Madras, so
yeah, I
I'll
think they'll
reach
just
out.
share
so.
it. 'Cause
Yeah.
But I do remember that SDAO said they could help us with our bylaws.
Probably like what Shelby's saying, though, it's just a guide.
Oh,
They're not gonna
For
write it for us.
policies?
Yeah.
no, they didn't say that. I don't remember them saying they would write it, but I do remember saying that we could contact them if we had questions about how to write the bylaws or what should be in our bylaws.
I think it'd be awesome just to get somebody else's and say, I like that.
But what I would recommend, if we got somebody else's, we could write ours using theirs as a template.
I
And
think
then
that's
what
what
you do
Krista's
is you
saying.
send it back to the SDAO and they review it and say, that looks good, or I would add this, I would take this out.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
So we're not utilizing them for what we pay them for. We pay a yearly
Right.
fee. for
Doesn't
them
mean, we can just
to
get our
be our
hands on a
reference.
copy of somebody's, that would be great.
Hmm.
I know, if we could just get our hands on a copy of another park district's bylaws, that would be fantastic.
But I do agree with you, Dave. I think that once we do that and then we can go through it and
Yes.
put in what we want, then having it double check, that just makes sense to
Yeah.
do.
And I'm
Absolutely.
pretty sure that they would, if we called them and asked, would send an expert in bylaws and that they would come out and help us. It may cost us a little bit of money, but
We don't have that in our budget for this year.
year 2030, we're sure we'll have
We'll give, what are we in? We're in October. We'll give Scott 30 days and see if he comes back with a copy of anything that we could possibly go over or start with.
I will reach out.
And then, because that'd be so much easier. If we could just copy somebody's because we loved it and then turned it into the SDIO and said, here, fine tune it, then great. That'd be super easy. Okay, we'll figure that out. Anything else, John?
No, that was it. I just want to make sure we're kind of having that process so we know, and then we can have,
Yeah.
take the minimal one, half a paragraph we might steal from this and put it in there just to know about everything. you know.
Correct.
It would be really nice as a new board member to go, here you go.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
probably you felt the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, I mean, bylaws really shouldn't be that bad. So to me,
No.
14 pages, really, that's actually pretty
But this
decent.
is our policies too.
That's
So
policy.
it's the bylaws and
God.
policies mixed
That's all.
together, so, yeah, it's,
Okay, yeah, that's bad. All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Um,
it's a mix.
Those were simpler times back in the day.
Yes.
Okay, district manager, job description.
It is very long.
That
Did
this is
Ted
a lot.
create this?
Nope,
Who created this?
I did.
Did Ted
But to
review
tell
it?
you, some-
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
Ted, your thoughts? Let's start with Ted since this is his job.
Oh, I mean, it's really good. Couple things, the last page, ability to obtain CDL license, I don't know, if that's necessary.
okay,
Even a backflow certification, I mean, Luis does it, he has that certification, how hard is that to get? It's not hard, I do it for the park for free.
so you could just keep doing it for the park for free?
Yeah, right now, yeah, I just do it for free, I do it every year. Yeah, so. But the pesticide application license is necessary. I mean, this is pretty comprehensive, I don't think this way, the way this is written, I mean, it's visionary leadership, I don't think.
Yeah,
I'm visionary.
I wanted to see something in your words.
Well, this is good, though. This is what most people understand. My words are simple.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if I'd even put something down like that. If I
Yeah.
wrote my own books.
Yeah,
So, I mean, this is good. It's really long, but I think,
Well, and when we advertise, you don't have to advertise this whole thing. You can
it's just so
summarize
long.
and cut it down.
I mean, people are gonna see this and be like, oh my gosh. I mean, we can't,
Well, this is part of the job description. I mean, when you get this and you go to other jobs, like I speak for myself and my job, mine is probably this long.
Yeah,
And that's part of the description I have to sign every year, like this is my job,
right.
so.
Most
I'd
people
rather
are
have
gonna look
people-
at what the main essential responsibilities are and then what the qualifications are. That's
Yeah.
what they're gonna look for.
Where
So-
is the grant writing?
It's not in there. Cause this is written as he currently does it. It's not written as to what you guys are gonna want. Cause
But
we didn't know what you wanted.
We do want him.
yeah, grant writing.
Yeah, he
Okay.
does that all the time. That's a definite must.
Mhm.
Yeah, under essential duties. and
Uh-huh.
responsibilities, you can put it under there.
I'm. The only other thing, unless it's in here and I just overlooked it, I skimmed it, but where. To me, when I read this, it truly sounds like a. It truly sounds like a park manager. It doesn't sound like our district manager. And Ted, I think that directly supervising 5 to 8 employees with indirect supervision of 25 to 62 is just not quite as powerful as we want that position to be. I mean, he
Right.
is the head Pumbaa of this park district. Sorry, is that such a word? No, that's a word or not. There's a.
It is now.
It is now, yeah, we just made it. So,
No, and I'm not offended
yeah,
by
I know
anything,
you're
because
not.
it,
I know you're not.
basically what I did was I took our maintenance supervisor position that we just advertised for, grabbed that, and then added the other duties that Ted does, because essentially that's what he is doing right now, is those things. And I knew it was gonna be things, there were gonna be things that you wanted to add, there's gonna be things that you wanna take out. So it's kind of just a starting point to go, okay, what do we really, what do you guys really want this job to be? You know, what are you really gonna expect from this person? What qualifications are you gonna want for this person?
Okay, so let's scale it out just a little bit. Does everybody want to review it and then come back on the next meeting with your suggestions, or do you guys have suggestions now that you'd like to see? I mean, I do see where Shelby put here, acts as the top authority for the district. And this position has 30 to 70 employees under its supervision, or supervisor during the course of the year, but I would like it specified, I guess, that they are our PR for the park, unless we rewrite that description,
Well, and that's,
you know what I mean? So
and I'm almost wondering if we need to have a workshop on
to
this,
discuss
to
it,
discuss
yeah,
all of this, because it's gonna be a very in-depth discussion with you guys as to
Correct.
what you see this for this job.
correct. And I think George should probably weigh in on that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to skip over him on that.
Yeah.
David? Make some comments. I know you have some.
Well, when we did the fire chief, which is basically the same thing what we're looking for. And we had a fairly experienced board. They all went with the SDAO consulting. And we paid them a fee, wasn't a huge fee, but they walked you through all this. We're gonna spend hours doing something what their guy does, or their gal, actually, I think who we'll deal with. Can have it done, we look at it, add this, take this out, they say yay, nay. Again, we're going down, we're going down a trail and we don't really have any idea how to navigate that trail.
So, but I think my personal opinion is, I feel like Shelby has a good base here. Like, this is good. Her words are good. I don't know that we need to go into such detail about the position unless we're going to restructure that position. I'm not saying that's wrong. We can definitely get somebody's outside opinion, but I guess my question is, does the board want to see the position restructured so that we have marketing and PR separate from a park manager? And would the rec center be, you know what I mean? Do we still want to keep our chain of command, or do we want to restructure that district manager into a separate park manager, into a separate and keep a district manager as somebody who does PR and fundraising and marketing and all that good stuff? Those are my questions for you guys to think about. Not right now. I'm just saying, think about whether, or if you guys want to keep it as it is for now, that's fine too. But that is a good question for a work work group too.
So also, you guys know how Karen is, they're hiring for her position. So what she's doing is she wants everybody from town or whatever who wants to see the new, kind of like what they
They're
did.
doing a meet and greet. is what
Yeah,
They're doing
so
for
I
the
feel,
candidates.
yeah,
I
I
was,
think that's a really good idea,
I'm-
especially if it's a board or if it's a, you know, the director. To maybe do something like that for the new person coming in.
What we did was once we advertised the position after we came up with the job description, that's the other thing FDA does is they help advertise the position. So we had candidates from the whole western United States.
Yeah, yeah,
They help you dwindle it down, and then you dwindle it down even more. And then we invited top 5 candidates out. We did a meet and greet with everybody. Then the next day, we had a community group that interviewed them. The board interviewed them, and the businesses around here had separate, they interviewed them. Those 2 groups came to the board, made their recommendation, and then we went from there. But the SDAO walked us through everything. We spent more time right now on this tonight than I feel like I spent on the whole process with the SDAO.
so how much did the SDAO do with, did they mostly work with? I'm assuming Susan does your HR there at the fire. Does she do any of that?
What are you talking about?
When you did this, SDAO has to talk to somebody. They can't just do this all on their own.
The chairman.
Or did they
Kenny
just do with the
was
chair?
Very involved with it. Suzanne wasn't involved much with it. at
So
all.
that would be you. You would have, if we did that, they would be contacting you to talk with you about this position and how all that would go.
correct.
So
Are you saying that they wrote the job description for you?
It was a joint effort. We kind of said, well, this is what we want to pay. This is kind of what we're looking for.
And that's
They
what I'm
kinda-
saying. I'm not gonna be the one that's writing a job description. So
No.
I'm asking you guys.
That's
to
what they
make a
provide their
workshop
services is a
tell me whether or
framework.
not
And then,
you
and
like
then
this.
it's a collaboration. You get together, you look at it. Put your feedback, and there's some stuff in the job description you gotta have there from a legal standpoint. And I just tell you, and that was, and everybody on the board was like, yes, this is what we're gonna do, because it's just a smooth.
And that's
oral-
all fine.
That's what they do.
I just
Oh, I mean,
want you
they
guys
do
to
that.
come to a conclusion on whether or not you want to keep the current flow of command in this park district is what I'm asking. Or if we are
Mhm.
going to require new duties from our person or less duties and divide them up, or if you want to just keep it as is now.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to be able to like look at this and then come back and
what
address
I'm
this
thinking
again,
too.
at least in November, then to make a decision to say, okay, I've looked through this and
Right.
that, I looked at it, but didn't spend a whole bunch of
Correct,
time on it,
correct.
so it would be nice to independently just look at this, to then make some notes, to then say, okay, is there another step we need to go? Do we need to break it up? Do we need to go to this way? I think that would be helpful for everybody.
Correct.
I guess my thing is it kind of depends on who you bring in. And if you get locked in, this is what we're looking for, this is what we're gonna hire, and then you hire somebody that maybe can do some of that, but can't do all of that, you have other people that can do some of that stuff. Does that make sense? I don't know that you're gonna get the perfect candidate that can do everything that we put on there.
you never know. I mean, the maintenance supervisor that we found, he pretty much
Well,
had everything we were looking
we-
for, so.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, I don't know that who really does, but ever. I mean, we're awesome at our own job descriptions, but, the idea is just to get it done and put it out there so that we can get our candidates, and this is a very detailed, job description, that's for sure. I think some of it's kind of a given. Out of anybody that we're paying that kind of a salary to, we should expect that kind of a professional, manner out of them. I feel like we go into a lot of detail here about their competencies. that are just what I would expect out of any business professional,
Mhm.
but,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess take a look at it, and then, come back on November. I would really like to leave our position alone if we could. That's my opinion, but yes, let's come back in November. I can make a call to SDIO and ask them how much time they need in order to, we're wanting to post his job in January.
So is that gonna be enough time? Because we normally don't have a meeting in December.
Correct.
So are you guys gonna be able to come to consensus?
Do you guys
In
want a workshop
November.
in November? You want an hour workshop where we literally tell ourselves we're gonna be out of here in an hour and we only do the workshop?
Because that is my
Can we
only
do it, like-
concern.
Soon, like in 2 weeks, maybe.
I'll do whatever you guys want to do. Right.
Yeah, I feel like the sooner the better.
If it was me, I would reach out to the FDAO and see if they could have somebody here to help consult doing that. But I've worked with them on multiple things.
I want their
I've been-
posting ability. I want them to help us post a job. I feel like if Ted looked this over and said, yeah, I would post this about me, then I don't see why that's a bad thing. But I'm not saying I won't go to them, like I can,
Yeah, because they can
I
help
can get-
us dwindle down some of these into like one kind of category or two. Just make it shorter, but kind of saying what this is saying, just in different words.
You do
maybe.
that for posting, but then you have a longer job description.
correct,
for the
that they can
candidates,
ask for.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, no, this was just a long job description for you guys. It wouldn't be something I would post completely because it is entirely
you
too long
sure?
for posting. Yes.
Yeah, it's very short, because you're,
Yeah.
why don't we go ahead and let's do a 1 hour workshop. Okay, it'll give everybody a chance to review. And let's set it for. Let's try that second week in November.
So,
is this for board and the staff or board only?
I think
November
more than 10
8th
maybe.
through the 12th is that second week.
Yeah, do
I
the
think-
11th. Any other day works for me.
Ted, are you okay the second week of November,
Yeah,
8th through the 12th?
yeah.
Let's avoid Fridays. Nobody
I
wants-
I can't do Monday.
I could do Monday too.
I can't do
Oh,
Monday.
you can't do
I
Monday.
have a board meeting.
What about,
I do Tuesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday works for me.
Tuesday's fine, yeah.
So
okay,
the 9th
you want to try the 9th? Let's do that. We'll try it.
6
at
o'clock.
6 p.m.
Sooner if possible, but like
5:30?
5:30 would be awesome,
Okay,
Let's do 5:30.
yeah,
Sounds great.
5:30.
You want pizza or Subway?
whichever one you prefer.
Your choice. Sushi.
Pizza.
Yeah, I'll
sounds
do-
really
I'll do
good.
that.
Let's
Yeah.
do pizza. Pizza sounds good. Oh, whoops, not 1 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Okay, 1 hour workshop, okay, Shelby, if
Okay.
you could post that out there
Yep.
regarding the district manager
Position.
position, yeah. Open to the public, but no public comment,
Right.
okay, all right. And then if you could send us an email reminder on Monday,
Yep.
maybe? Do you mind?
Yeah, no, that's
Thank
fine.
you.
Wait, when does basketball start?
Not till December.
December, okay.
Would you text me? For some reason, I'm not getting all never did get Scott.
Yeah, I don't have.
You
it.
never did get that
You didn't look at
one?
the junk email?
I
in
don't
case?
think-
No, I
Hmm.
didn't get the email that you guys were responding, and then John forwarded me that email, but I never got your,
They're going to junk mail?
sure.
Like,
And that's where I
the-
found the other one.
did you get the board packet?
I got that one.
It's just not his you're getting. Maybe then, you got
Possibly.
Shelby's. Oh, weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's do that. I'll call SDAO. So that we'll cover David's peace of mind on that as well.
Do you guys want me to have like some easels with pads to write on or anything like that for brainstorming? No?
Yeah,
Yes.
paper.
Just paper? Okay.
Do we already have these things available?
I think we have some of the rest in there.
Well, if we have some of the rec center, just bring them down. We'll use them if we use them.
Who, are we doing a board session? Do you want Scott and Ted? I mean, I would think that they would be
That's
useful,
fine.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's fine. I'm not gonna tell you no. That would be your.
Is that okay?
That-
with
Yeah,
you?
that's.
That's your guys' call. That's not mine.
Yeah, we want that.
Not required, but if you want to be here, yeah,
Oh, okay,
it'd be helpful, like to have your opinion.
okay.
Well, I'm gonna say, like, that would be helpful unless Scott's gonna be running for that position, because if he is, that's an equity, that's.
That
not-
could be an interest, a
That's a
conflict
a
of
conflict of
interest.
interest. And
Are
I'm
we
not saying,
discussing anything that's not gonna be posted in the position though, is what I'm getting at? Like, if we're discussing things that are not gonna be posted in this big old long thing that somebody's gonna get when they apply, then I don't see how that would,
okay,
you know what I mean? If we're gonna eventually give it to everybody anyway,
It's
then,
open to the public, so I
Yeah, it's
could even
open.
sit
Oh,
in the
true.
back room.
Yeah.
fair, no, and it's absolutely good. I just didn't want to make you like already have a conflict there, so.
No,
Because I would think the same thing if I was running for a position in my school district, I wouldn't come up with a job description for it.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, you're right, as far as input goes,
yes,
Yeah.
correct.
yes.
Yeah.
He
But
could
being
be,
here,
he could be here,
100%.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
input probably
Yeah,
not
because she
a.
just said
No,
we
I
would like
understand
your
that.
input.
yeah. I'm making notes, sorry, hold on. Oh, we
You're
can,
you're good. I am too, because we're not, I'm trying to get everything down.
I have other business I totally.
okay.
You good for now for that?
Anybody else have any comments on that one? That new business category?
No, I think everything else got put under other business.
Okay.
I was not.
Scott Green, winter operation.
Yeah,
Oh,
so the reason I'm bringing this up is just, I'll be honest with you, it's getting frustrating. Getting kind of, anxiety over what's been taking place. I mean, as you know, it's hard to find people. There's more jobs than people. Well, it's been going on for a long time. And finding dedicated people, especially when they're young, is almost impossible anymore. And I'll give you a scenario. I'm not the only one going through this either. A couple of the other managers are too. But, not counting Sunday, 4 mornings in a row, I've received phone calls at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I've had to go in because somebody overslept or couldn't make it, or there's, a chemical
Mhm.
maybe question or something like that in the pool. And then having really low visitation right now. Originally, a little history, originally the hours were designed for 6 a.m. start time. I know the school district came and talked to the board about starting at 5:30 because they wanted to be able to swim, be able to shower and get to the classroom on time. With the exception of David, which is once in a while, we haven't seen a school teacher since COVID, before COVID started. So far this week, up until 8:30 in the morning, we've had one swimmer. At
Up until
8:30,
8:30, we've had one
nobody
swimmer,
came in.
and we're opening up at 5:30?
Yes, and I'm having trouble getting staff to be there on
Yeah.
time for that. Most of those, I have 2 permanent pool managers and 2 permanent hourly staff. which we have a 5:30 to 7:30 time frame to cover. And we have to have so many on at certain times. In the morning, we can get by with two, but it can't have less than two. Even if we didn't have pool covers, we can't have less than two.
Mhm.
You have to have the right two, because the pool covers can get kind of heavy, right? So, and there's time, they show up at 4:30 in the morning. That's when they have to be there, enough time to get the pool ready to go by 5:30. And it's creating a lot of stress on a lot of people. And it's honestly, it is not cost effective at all for the district.
When we, not to interrupt you, but when we decided to open up early for the teachers, it was on a trial basis and we did it because we wanted to see how many people would utilize it. We were
Okay.
very
See.
happy about the fact that we had what, like 10 to 15 people, maybe 10, right?
Maybe 10.
That came in and actually used it. And we were like, yay, let's keep that open. If we're only servicing one, then my personal opinion would be that that's not enough to cover the cost of our wages and our operation of that pool during those hours to
It-
cover
it's-
one person.
It's not at all. Throughout most of the day, this time of year, that's history right there. Anyway, the winter time, it changes. You start adding, daylight saving starts, it's darker in the morning. I have kids coming from all over. Wait till the snow falls. We've had those issues in the past. It's a safety issue. I add all this together. The main thing, we're not getting the usage. And I think we need to open winter hours only. Summer, we should go back to normal hours. But I'm proposing that we open up at 7 AM in the morning and run it until 8 o'clock at night. That way, we actually will help with the number of staff we have, because they only work so many hours. Especially if they're certain ages, they can only work so many hours as well during school time. And just looking at what we have, and we don't have enough people. Got together with both my front desk manager and our pool manager to discuss this, to see if they were, making sure they're on board, that they agree that how they could handle that with those hours, and they both were. And so we're recommending that Monday through Friday, we open the pool from 7 AM to 7:30, the facility until 8 o'clock. The reason difference is by the time we clear the pool, people get into the locker room, locked out, they can get out there by 8 o'clock. Does that make sense? So Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday, we've been opening Saturday at 9, like we always have, running the slide in the afternoon, which we had 50 people in the afternoon. Last 2 Saturdays, our first person showed up at, last week was 12:30, the week before was 1 o'clock. First person all day. Again, this is something that we're paying staff. Oh yeah, we can only clean so much, but we try to make lists for them. It gets to be where a problem where, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to mow now. I mean, we're trying to find things for them to do, right,
Mhm.
sometimes,
Can-
and
Can we
just
back
because we
up?
don't have the visitation. So I think it should open at 11 on Saturdays.
I think it's been because there's been a lot of things going on around town. We've had like we had the pumpkin thing or that thing at the Sage Center. There's just been a lot of things for the kids, for the parents to take the kids to. I think that might have a lot to do with it, if it's only been the few couple of weeks.
Okay,
Well, the biggest problem, and I alluded to it way back when I first got on the board, is we have to get that place opened up. Because when people fall into a new workout routine, because I know all those people that come in there were swimming at 5:30. Some of them retired from teaching or working in school, so now they don't get up as early because they don't have to.
Correct.
But myself, I got used to not going to the pool because the pool wasn't available. And I got into a new routine that fits my schedule now. And I still go in there a couple days a week in the morning, but now I'm lifting weights versus in the pool. If I gotta go to the pool in the afternoon, and I still need to get in the pool, but then that part of the byproduct of COVID. When you screw with people's routine, they find a new routine, and people hate change, and they hate doing that, but once they get settled in, they don't wanna change back. And I understand the problem. The thing is that we're gonna lose some members that, because we've condensed the hour, but I do understand the financial ramifications of it and the actual employee, so I'm not against it. But it's gonna solve some problems, but it's gonna create other problems potentially.
Is the weightlifting facility gonna be open
It's
still?
24/7.
Yeah, but they have to pay for that pass, so
They do, and people, actually, there's more and more people doing that just because it's more convenient for them to be able to come when they
Whenever
want
they
to come,
want.
yes.
Right.
Everything's available for them at any hour of the day, with the exception of the pool. We have to have staff there for the pool.
So when you're saying you would change the hours to 7 AM, the whole facility doesn't open up until when? When do you want the whole facility to open up?
Well, I was actually thinking the whole facility at 7, because we've actually gained since COVID happened, we were doing 20, we've actually gained people on 24-hour,
Right,
which
okay,
they need a membership plus the annual fee for that.
Okay.
And comments I hear back is, it's, there was, except for a few, and it's very few, pool. There are a little issues here and there with some fitness classes, but there's a ways to work around that, working with the instructors. It's only one, Dory's class at 5:30 in the morning, and that might be, I need to talk to Dory. I haven't yet, I will. But that might be one of the things that I need to be creative on for that. But for the most part, I mean, this problem mainly lies in the aquatics portion. It is still some issues at the front desk sometimes too. Not so much the other morning because Cynthia is our opener, but it's hard. We're doing interviews tomorrow because we need to replace people at the front desk again.
so you're wanting to do Monday through Friday, the pool at 7, the whole facility at 7,
Until 8 o'clock.
and right now we're at 5:30, the whole facility.
Right, so an hour and a
and a
half
half
difference.
I don't think we're gonna get a lot of pushback. I mean, the year-round the 24-hour access is what, $50 a year? That's like $5 a month.
No, I agree. I
And
just
if I
wanna-
want to be in your facility, I'm not gonna fret about one latte. 'Cause, I mean,
Do you think that the people that do come in the morning, do you think they're all 24-hour people?
everybody in the weight room when I go in there is. because
So
they're in
Almost
there
everyone.
how
for-
many,
more.
when do you start getting people in the pool? Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday?
It varies. This week, we had one person come in at 7. One day, we had one person come in at 8:30 one day. Today, we had no one there until after 10.
I would say make that move, and then if you hear one person at all say, hey, is there any possibility we can get this open back up? We have a couple teachers that want to do this, then
Just
we
say-
would obviously reopen it.
I
and
say
not-
we can have, it has to be set of numbers at least over like, I don't know, because we don't want to open up for just 2 or 3. So if we make it
Bigger group,
available,
I guess.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
problem is come January, because I've been in that pool since it opened. Come January, you'll have 15 people there fairly early on Monday morning at 5:30. And then end of January, middle of February, you're back down to that one core that's been there for all the time. And, like Red and Kathy, once COVID hit, when it opened back up, they didn't come at 5:30 anymore, they came at 6:30. And then now, I don't even know if they're going there every time I talk to Kathy.
Kathy showed up today the first time in like 2 months,
Yeah, and.
Oh,
and-
but she
and
didn't show up early.
No. And that's what I mean, when people change their routine, that's the new
What's your
normal.
suggestion?
My suggestion is move it to 7. Because I think it'll help with employees. And just be mindful of when people come and talk to you.
Correct.
And it might be, I'm like Norma, if we're not gonna open this up for 3 hours for 3 people.
Right.
That's not
Bad
good business.
business, yeah.
But if you want to start swimming at 5:30 in the morning then you need to get a consensus of people that are gonna show up.
Right, John?
I'm in agreement with that. I think that we're wasting money and because we don't need to pay people for nobody there.
and so
Okay.
early.
It's a lot of
So-
work.
So we covered Monday through
it's a lot of
Friday.
work.
So what was your suggestion for Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday, I was suggesting 11 to 8 o'clock. Well, 10:30, the shift work for the staff would be 10:30 to 8:30.
Mhm.
The hours of operation would be from 11 to 8.
On Saturday,
Mhm.
we get a lot of traffic in there in the evening on
We
Saturday.
haven't received anyone before noon this whole last.
Well, what
2
about in the evening?
Pardon me?
When do people?
The
click off?
afternoon is when they're coming.
So how long they stay though? You stay until close or?
No, till about 6 usually. Sometimes a few will linger till 7.
Yeah, I could cut it down at 6.
And you're saying the same thing, so the operation of the pool and the operation of the facility would be from 11 to 8, 11 to 7, what'd you say?
Oh,
It's just Saturday, 11 to 8. The
Okay.
rest of the facility, the rest of the days, I'm sorry, from 7 AM to 8.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're just talking about weekends.
Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday,
Sunday
Sunday.
night.
Just Saturday.
Saturday,
Oh,
Oh,
'cause you're not open
Sunday
Sunday.
stay
Sunday.
closed. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yes, Sunday.
obviously I know nothing.
They
We
don't
like
get
it, we get
hardly
one
anybody
person
in
whole
there on
day.
Sundays.
right.
I can get
I
you a
know,
lot
I
of
hear
people in
ya.
there.
People are tired
know-
by the time they get to Sunday.
You know, in some
Yeah. Oh,
aspect, if we're also hosting some youth oriented things, they're like, if we're hosting basketball, that enables 2 courts to be used before
Correct.
people get there. I'm just saying it's a win-win.
Okay, so Saturday 11.
That's a
you're
good point.
That's what I'm
proposing.
saying. Sundays, when COVID restrictions lift, I've always planned Sundays being a facility rental, special events, that type of deal, which I know they're out there, they just can't right now.
Yeah.
So,
I
2
think
week,
you're
you
on the
know,
right track, though.
pardon
I
me?
agree with you. I think you're
Yeah.
on the right track.
All right,
Like everybody
Yeah.
seems to agree.
So
Yeah,
Saturday,
thank
you're
you.
gonna keep 11 AM to 8 PM?
yeah, not
Okay.
starting until November, of course, but
Yeah.
we gotta get the
So how
word out.
many people were in there traditionally from 6 to 8? I don't know that you need to run that long. I'm Saturday myself.
Not very many people that late. What I'm trying to do here is still have it available for the community, for our members, but yet be able to operate it on a basis that we can accommodate people. And the morning time is the hardest, that early in the morning is the hardest to accommodate
Mhm.
for no use. You know, there's gonna be more people shooting baskets in the evening
Yeah.
than there will ever be coming in the morning, so.
What,
That's true. That's fair.
what would be your thoughts if we increase the monthly membership, yearly membership 20 or a little bit and just give everybody 24-hour access?
You can't because of the pool, right? You have to.
No, you're not gonna, I'm not,
Yeah.
I have 24-hour
Yeah.
access, but I can't get to the pool. I'm
Oh,
talking
You're
about,
getting into a whole nother subject, because if you're doing that, you're gonna have to restructure all those fees.
Yeah,
Because
that's a
there's-
direct pro
it-
nightmare.
Yeah,
And then there's no matter what we do, there's gonna be issues everywhere. But we have issues with some 24-hour access people, and we have to monitor that pretty closely. You just, it's
you have
nice that we're getting
tournaments
more
between
people buying
10
24-hour
midnight.
access. But it does create other additional problems in a different way.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
So would you be closing the pool at 8 PM or sooner?
7:30, clear the pool at 7:30, so they have a chance to shower or whatever they need to do for the facility to close at 8. That's a normal thing for pool, because they gotta get out and dry out and they need time.
Okay, and they have been using it till that late, you said? So let's
Not
say
a
if we
lot.
close it
It's
at
op-
5.
It's not a lot, but coming up, I mean, it's longer subject than I thought. So we have swim lessons starting, okay, in the
Uh-huh.
evening coming November, for the whole month of November.
Okay.
We have swim team who comes and practices it
Practice.
every year for
Mhm.
November and December. So we do have more, they'll be there certain nights until 7:30. So we
Oh.
have reasons to use it
Mhm.
that late, and we're
Okay.
receiving funds for that. So
Oh,
that
okay.
works right now.
Okay.
That,
I'm sorry, what was your close time Monday through Friday? 7 to what?
7 to 8
8
PM.
the facility 8, full at 7:30, but the facility
Yeah,
8
yeah, no
o'clock.
worries.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're good.
It's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fair.
You're
It's good.
You're
All
great.
right, thank you.
Mhm.
I'll come back to David because I'm assuming his SDAO consultant discussion had to do with the fact that he wanted to talk about the district manager. So, Ted? There's not much on yours. Do you even care? Do we care? That's really horrible. shouldn't
I
feel
care,
that way.
Ted. I care,
Oh,
Ted.
that was kind of rude. Not gonna lie. You made me open my mouth. Okay.
Right, we've already read it.
Yeah,
I did
Now,
that earlier
one
with my
thing I-
daughter. I was like,
yeah.
Sorry, that's probably the poor way to put it.
Well, the last thing on there, I did a webinar with SDAO for data management and security. I said we got 2% of our insurance costs cut. Now, we have an opportunity to get 10%, you know, if we do certain things, which right now are at 8% off our insurance costs. I've got one more thing to do before, you know, we get that 10%. So we've been doing that every year. So that was one of the reasons why I took this class, so I can do that. Yeah, 2%. I mean, what did we pay for insurance last year? I mean, it was a lot.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. It was over
It is a lot.
20,000. It
Yeah.
was quite a bit.
Yeah, so 2%, 10%, pretty good chunk of change.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, on that disc golf tournament, did we charge for that?
No, we haven't charged for any of this class.
Okay,
So that's something we may want to consider sometime, possibly charging for it. Like, especially a
like
tournament.
to make, yeah,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
because
don't
I
charge
noticed-
for people to use our softball field.
Pardon?
Do we charge to have people use our softball field?
Oh,
Then
No.
how can we charge for disc golf?
I don't know. I mean, if you want to make money.
Oh, I was just
Well,
saying for the
you could do it
tournament.
if they wanted to reserve it and close it off to the
True.
public. You
True.
could do that.
Well, yeah, it's like a tournament.
Yeah.
They had it for 2 days, you know, we could have, and they made money on it.
Oh, they made my, okay, that's what
They
I,
made money
that's what
on
I
it.
was getting at. So they did charge people
Yeah,
to come play. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
meant.
so it seems like if they charge people, well, we need to charge the organizers for use of the.
No.
Yeah. to
Can we get a
block it
logo on
off
a flyer?
And close it, because it's,
No,
nobody
didn't
can
we?
use it
Didn't,
other than
did we?
them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, right, yeah, good point, right? We
They,
don't
they
advertise
should
that.
recognize us. They really should.
Yeah. Oh, I did want, can we go to other business? Are we on that?
We're not
yet?
on that yet.
Okay.
So what do we have to do in
Yeah.
order to put that on our fee sheet? That if they want to use it for a tournament and it's a charging thing tournament and not one that's to our youth around here that they're just doing free, that,
Motion, just make a motion to add it to our fees and come up with the fee schedule.
okay, does somebody want to check and see how much a normal
Pharmacy
a fee would
charges.
be on something like that? Pendleton has one. I wonder if they charge.
Wouldn't it be a resolution?
If you're changing fees,
If you're adding, yeah.
we
Yeah.
change stuff all the time though,
Mm.
with the motion.
Sorry, I know. Talk out of turn. I just thought.
No, you're fine. Let me call Pendleton. I'm curious if Pendleton charges for their disc golf tournaments. The city put it in, I thought. I'll ask them.
It would be tough for them to do it if the city put it in. I don't know. I don't mind the idea of charging somebody, but at the end of the day too, if they get more experience to come here and experience this, but I don't mind the idea of like, let's make them have put it on a flyer, a caveat of that. I mean, that
Well, the
would be
hard-
huge.
The hardest part right now is all these activities that go on at our parks, or
Mhm.
nobody tells us anything. I mean, most of the time, it's just somebody surfing Facebook and happens to see it pop up and say, oh, they're having a tournament here.
And that's wrong because we're the ones with the insurance and they're on our.
Yeah, they shouldn't do
grounds.
that. at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, that,
We
that's
need
not
to
right.
check
Well-
with the insurance, because if we charge them a fee to use our disc golf or a softball field, I think there might be some liability. Our insurance may get drawn into it because we've now entered a business deal.
It shouldn't be any different than what we do for our pavilion rentals.
I don't disagree, but I know the world of lawyers may not see it that way. And the world of insurance is in bed with the lawyers.
Yeah, it's
so.
not like I'm asking them to charge it or give us a fee per person in a tournament. I'm saying like a flat fee for usage
Mhm.
rental, just like a pavilion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
But
talking
once
like
the
a
money's been
$200.
changed,
Yeah, because
then-
you're closing it to the public at that point.
Yeah, a $200, whatever, just a flat fee. If they want to hold a tournament to be a flat fee, and
Yeah.
that truly would not be any different than a pavilion rental. We don't monitor those.
But I'd be interested in what our insurance says about that. I'm just, they would be worth a call to whoever our insurance is, to just ask them if we charge a fee, does that change anything with you?
Shelby, that's up to you then.
I'll call Michelle.
pin down.
And they might just say, no, it's no different than Joe Blow walking off the street.
Yeah,
But I would be
Yeah.
interested to know what the insurance. people say.
I don't think
just-
it'll be any different. I mean, we went through the liability insurance over the disc golf course before, and it
yeah,
It's-
really didn't add anything to us. It was just our normal general liability that we have.
Which is mostly property damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when they come down and use our garbage cans, they use our bathroom, and they break the toilet off the wall.
Yep.
did that happen?
Yeah.
Maybe not here, but it does happen.
I didn't know if it was an example or if that really.
It was an
happened.
example, but not from here.
Thank God.
No, we've had one broken sink.
Oh, yeah, I've got some stories.
Ted, did you have anything else? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you short. I was rude. Are you okay?
No, I'm good.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Ted?
I'm actually gonna add something to his report. So our campground is completely full with the exception of Circle C for this whole winter.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yes.
Oh, I did have something for them.
Get that heat tape. Get that heat tape.
It's on.
Could have raised those fees higher.
He did. He did.
No,
He
we know we
raised them
did.
last month.
That's pretty outstanding. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I did have a question, Ted. On the benches at the city field, are those the city's benches?
Everything over there is the city.
Okay,
So are you talking about the wood ones?
yeah,
Yeah, they probably ought to be removed, I think. They're getting pretty old.
yeah, they're pretty
They were
bad.
put in by like a couple mayors ago, weren't they? Like, that was,
Yeah.
what's his name?
Yeah.
I remember that.
They're working on getting those replaced. There was a safety committee about those, this month.
Okay,
They're
good.
supposed to get replaced or get new ones. It's still not, we don't know yet. But they
Okay,
will get at least replaced or fixed.
okay. Yeah, definitely that one at the end too. That one's pretty bad. It's just.
Yeah.
hit and nail.
It's just pretty good.
Well, maybe you can tell Kevin, because he wants us to take that, the one that's all ripped and put a new one right there aboard. Maybe you can come just get rid of it.
Yeah, I think you need to, because I've been tempted to go down there and just remove it.
Well, we cleaned the whole triangle rectangle.
Yeah,
We put new gravel and stuff on the bottom.
okay.
That'd be a call for you.
It's all, the thing is, they're all wood and
Mhm.
it's all going to rot every.
Mhm.
You could replace the board, you know, they're custom
I'll make it
made
short.
boards.
Thank you.
But the legs are gonna rot, the backing's gonna rot, everything. Because it's wood.
Is there a way to buy benches made out of that composite stuff that lasts forever?
You can, but that's not very good material. I've had benches that way. They're easy to break. You know, the only good thing about that stuff is you have it on your home deck, not in a public arena, because it breaks very easy. We've had tables, picnic tables down at the city park. People are breaking the ends off. We had a bench down there. They broke it all up.
And they
It's
melt,
very
too.
flimsy stuff. But in a public setting, it's not a really good idea.
They're about $600 each.
Yeah, they're.
Hey Shelby, how about those benches you guys have connected to those?
Mhm.
Should we,
But
Do you
yeah,
guys wanna
should tell
donate
Kevin to
those?
Get rid of those because he wants us to just.
To
replace
what?
the board.
to put them down,
Yeah,
stick them
You should
down
tell him.
I will.
Where?
in
Remind
place
me
of
tomorrow.
where
Because
those
we've been
are,
cleaning
where
the
those
whole
benches are at right now.
They look nice.
At the city park?
Yeah.
And it's
No,
like-
at the city
some of
field,
legs are
at
rotten
the-
out.
The splash pad field?
Yeah,
Where would you, oh, but
In
those,
place
so
of
those are
those.
player benches though. Those get carted down when. the
oh, you guys
football-
moved them down.
Yeah, when
Oh,
the,
okay.
when the football teams are playing,
Mhm.
they use those benches.
The wood ones?
No, the
No,
ones that
her-
are, that are chained up.
To the wood ones.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, the wood. I don't know, the wood, I didn't think those were a good idea, those benches, but from the beginning. There was a couple mayors ago, you know.
Okay, yeah, that was just my question.
All right, we good?
Yeah.
Scott, so it looks like we've covered everything, clear down to the, where it says here, group swim lessons. Can you elaborate on those?
Group swim lessons?
Yeah, like how many kids are you thinking you're going to expect around November 2nd?
Well, we try to limit our class to about 8. We can take up to 10, but it's just not real feasible. And lately, the last swim lessons we did, we've had those pretty full. So
Good.
I think it'll be a good showing. I really do. I mean, there's already quite a list already before we even opened up signups already with people calling, asking about it. So I don't see a problem with that. In that one time in the past where we weren't allowed to get in the water with them because of COVID. Again, we can't count anything that happened last year really, but the last session we did, we were pretty full.
Good.
So
And then can you expand on your junior swim club?
Who's running that?
Yeah. who's
Yeah,
running that and what-
yeah, that's something that our pool manager wanted to start, and which we started. It was something that the school district actually helped cover because of the youth program, like
Okay.
the summer rec. So they actually paid for those signups too throughout that.
The school district does?
Yeah,
Nice, okay.
for, yeah, anything that was youth related, as long as it happened before summer school, which we did. So we had a pretty good about a dozen, I think, 10 to a dozen, yeah, show up on that. And it is a swim, it's a non-competitive swim club.
Correct.
Right, teaching them how to swim better, ones that already know how to swim. It's not a swim lesson, so to speak, but it's about how to be quicker, how to enter the water properly, all that. And I had a good results back on, our pool manager would like to continue it. There's people that were in it last year, they're asking if it was happening. Someday maybe it will become competitive, things change, everything, but right now, I think it's just another program for youth to be involved with.
Okay, is it a for sure thing that she thinks she will do over the winter? Or is it just a thing she hopes she's gonna do over the winter?
No,
Probably
it's a sure
continuing.
thing. It's like a
Okay.
6-week program. It's not.
Oh,
like-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And what
That's what I was wondering.
ages is that junior?
So it's for, I can answer that. She sent
Okay,
me
thank
this
you,
up.
because I don't
So
know.
it's for 10 years and older, and they
Aw,
have to pass level 4 swim lessons.
so they have to take swim lessons.
They have to
No.
have had their
No.
swim lessons and have passed level 4.
So they have to take swim
Yeah.
lessons in order. okay.
Well, yeah,
So what if they don't take swim lessons and we take them out swimming all the time and they're pretty good already?
Have to be able to pass a level
So
4
we'd have
swim
to go-
lesson
You can do a
test to make
test.
sure that you could do it.
Okay,
there's a
so
test.
we
that
take
can
them
be
to
done.
you guys and,
yeah,
say,
the
hey, can you
lifeguards
test?
actually have the test,
Yeah,
right?
Test my
yeah,
child.
probably Nicole will do a test to make sure that they can do the strokes that are required after to pass level 4.
Mhm.
That makes
Yeah.
sense?
So at what age can they start? I guess you guys always have it, I just don't really pay attention.
Swim lessons are designed for prerequisites, okay? You have level 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mhm.
5, 6, right, so to speak. You have to get a certificate from your swim instructor to pass. And that's one thing that I will mention that this team sideline is gonna help us with.
Mhm.
Rec Pro, we found out will help us with this too, I think,
Mhm.
is that before it was always a manual, here's your certificate, yes, you can pass. Sometimes I got lost in a shuffle between parents and lifeguards. This will be able to document when they've been able to pass from level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. If they haven't passed level 1, we're not gonna allow a parent to put them in level 2 until they pass
Yeah.
level 1.
And
So,
those swim lessons are like in the summer, right? Is that when you're doing
No.
them?
You're right.
well, they're starting again here in November 2nd. So
Okay.
there have been signups are just being released now, but in the wintertime, we do them throughout, not kind of the summer, we do them every 3 months. Throughout the fall, spring and summer, or spring, fall and winter. And in the summer, we do in June, July and August.
Mm.
Yeah, so you can do them 6 months out of the year.
Yeah,
Nice, okay.
Second, I'm really, 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 really happy. You ought to get all those reallys in the minutes, that you are doing something for this weekend for the kids.
good.
Very happy about that. I'm really happy that you did the Halloween craft day. How did that go?
Oh
Oh my gosh, I forgot to
Are you
take
talking about the
pictures.
pumpkin carving?
Yeah, it was. Pardon me, the pumpkin
It got
carving
Canceled,
did
right?
not, hold on, the pumpkin I would let her talk.
Thinking back
And I
on
wanted
my
to- I wanted some more
really,
reallys.
really
I didn't-
yeah.
We had really only, besides an employee, we only had 3 other people sign up for that, pumpkin carving. So it was gonna happen, and we're gonna display them down here on the trail. It was a whole thing we had planned on. I've done this elsewhere and it's worked. I think it's just trying to get people understanding what it is, and we really, there wasn't enough we didn't even have enough people for the prizes that we had to give out for people to come down and vote on their favorite pumpkin type of deal.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay,
So
What?
I feel like with this, because a lot of people don't know where to look and what we're doing, we've got to do different marketing than
Yeah.
what we're doing, other than our Facebook and website and flyers going home. Because it's not reaching people. And we're probably
Yeah.
gonna need to start looking at a quarterly flyer that we send out to people.
I mean, you could
To
be
in the mail.
posting like at jobs and like at Lamb Weston, I know they let people put on there, I mean, they let people take their flyers in and they post them at, you know, any
Yeah.
kind, any plants, at people's jobs, I mean, that's where you're gonna see it. Like, we're gonna walk into work, we're like, oh, there's a pumpkin carving contest. So like taking them to the city hall, taking it to your work, the high school,
There were
elementary
thousands of
school.
flyers taken around this community.
I know
can-
she posted,
Yeah.
she put posters up.
Posters and flyers,
Yeah, I saw.
schools, other workplaces. I know that because our part-time person Carla delivered all of them. I saw the stacks that went out the door. So,
I do like the idea of this quarterly, newsletter, like here's the upcoming, that's mailed to people, because like especially people in Boardman, right, or whatever.
Kind of like the North, with the
Huge.
North Royal Times.
Well, we can do similar like that, but the problem is with the North Monroe Times, when they do the graphics, they're super tiny. And if you want, for the amount that we would pay, you'd be better off to do a quarterly flyer that we
Yeah.
pick who we're gonna send it
Yeah, that's what
to.
I'm saying, like the North Moore
Yeah.
Times, like they do theirs
Mhm.
in the mailbox and it goes to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
I
something
I
like
have a
that.
different option on that, which that's great too. I'm just gonna throw out a different thing that what I have done in the past is I made a recreation brochure, okay, small, that yay big, spring and summer, fall and winter. So do it twice a year. You have everything all planned out what you're gonna offer. We used to, okay, and so in the Dalles, we would do that, take it to the Chronicle, right? They would actually print it for us and put it into all of their paper mailing. So all 10,000 people would get that or
Mhm.
more. So that would go out. And the only cost us was that printing part, but we did all the whole layout. So we didn't have to pay for that. They would print it, put it in there, and
That's it.
it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. So that's
Yeah.
another option that I've always wanted to get to. It just, we
It's
need a
having-
marketing person really,
We
because
do.
it takes a long time to do all that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
so it is canceled.
Only the one thing, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She was really, 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 really.
Disappointed.
Still,
However,
you're really,
the
really
craft day went really well.
Disappointed.
I'm sorry.
Keep the really.
I make a motion, we strike Krista's
Right.
earlier comment from the minute.
Right? No kidding.
I mean, yeah, I
Okay.
just feel like, yeah.
All right.
We will be
So-
doing more.
I will
And-
probably be requesting that we add a marketing person to this next year's budget. I know Chris is giving me dagger eyes.
So. Can we do a gingerbread thing or something, like over Thanksgiving, Christmas area? Who did that one at the
At the port,
the lodge? Not the.
oh,
port.
the lodge, it was the.
The lodge does that?
For
do they host
their,
that?
for the gingerbread
Yeah.
house. Oh, yeah, we do it with whoever works there. And then people who go in can vote for whichever one they
So
like.
can we add something that's kid related though? I mean, those are pretty fancy. I'm talking about like, are there any kits you can get for the kids? Can the
Oh,
kids
yeah,
do
those
any
are
crafts for
easy
that
kits.
time
We
frame?
can, and that's what we were talking about is the holidays, the Halloween craft, a
Yeah, yeah.
thing for
No, and I
Thanksgiving,
appreciate that
Christmas,
a
I feel
lot.
so
Yeah.
bad 'cause I forgot to say that.
Valentine's.
So how did the Halloween craft day go?
It went well. We
Oh, I didn't
we had,
know
a-
they were gonna
Kids have
pass
fun?
yeah, they did, they
Okay,
did.
good. That's what I want. I want more kid type
Mhm,
things. There are a lot of
involvement.
kids in sports, but there are a lot of kids that aren't in sports.
I agree.
So
Yeah,
last year we combated that with our Kidscape program, right? Which went really well.
Yeah,
But this year we're doing more crafty things,
Right,
so
right.
just,
Okay. I
which
see
is
on
kind
the
of
Day
nice.
of the
I
Dead
like it.
Going
Yes.
on November 2nd.
yeah, that hasn't happened yet, but yes. We do have signups. I don't have the numbers right now, though.
Okay, all right.
I do want to point out, the pool is fixed, by the way.
Yeah.
That was a pain, but I do want to point out, if you do understand what Energy Trust is saying here to us, that once they did our study, it's more efficient. We're more efficient now with our pool covers when it comes to gas, and electricity and the aquatic side. But the overall study done on the whole facility, we are the lead in the Pacific Northwest. There's no one comes close to us as far as the consumption of gas and electricity.
Nice.
Yeah, 47% better than anybody else out of 285 facilities.
Ours
So,
is running more efficient. Is that what you're
yes,
saying?
and they
Okay.
want to use us as a study point to help them further more east on the east side of the state.
Good.
So I think that says a lot.
Yeah, and jump on it and jump on any opportunity they want to help us improve our energy efficient.
There is another one,
Okay,
okay, which I wrote in at the end here,
Very bottom.
very bottom. There's another incentive. This is not the same kind of incentive, but what it does is it adds to what we already have to make us more efficient. One bid, I need two others, but just to give you an idea, one bid came to $10,760, which is basically to, it puts in some guidelines and setbacks on ventilation work, different items like that in the facility. They will cover $8,070 for this. So it would cost us, if we went with Climate Tech as an example, it would cost us $2,690. But we're talking more energy savings too. And there's already been a huge difference in the gas bill, and electrical bill has come down too. So I think in the long run, that pays.
Mhm.
It pays off.
I don't think $2,000 or even $3,000 is anything to squabble over if you know that the benefit of that energy bill being lower is gonna pay.
Okay. I have to sign
Just
the,
let us know what your bid's coming in at.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is similar what I did with the pool covers, had to sign their form and, agree to it.
It'd
So
be a new HVAC system though?
it would not be a new
What
HVAC
is it they're
system. It would
putting
be
in?
components added to be more efficient on the HVAC
Oh,
system.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
as long as it does not mess with our current warranty or anything to do with
Well, there
our
is no
current,
current warranty anymore.
right?
yeah.
That's what I wondered, yeah. Okay, so if we're done with our current warranties, right?
We are.
Then I don't think that would be a bad thing. No,
Okay, great.
that'd be great. And if they want to use us for any of that, that's great. Anybody have any other questions for Scott? All right. Does anybody want to adjourn?
I didn't know they had something for other business.
Oh, I did say, I asked that about the benches. That was my other business.
We had that SDAO thing. Did we already cover that?
Yeah, talk about
Okay.
Motion.
Make motion, we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Favor, let's go home.
Uh,